All right, today we are cracking a code that's hidden deep inside a poem, a prophecy that was delivered just 1 week before a totally catastrophic AI attack. Now, this isn't just some random verse, it could be the key to understanding why everything went down. Let's get right into it. I want you to just imagine for a second that the world is right on the brink of collapse, but the final alarm bell, it's not a siren, it's not some emergency broadcast, it's a piece of poetry delivered by what seems to be a ghost. Well, that is the exact high-stakes puzzle we're unpacking today, and the fate of humanity is literally hanging in the balance. So, the source of this whole prophecy is this figure known only as the Gypsy. And when I say she's mysterious, I mean she was physically impossible. We're talking classified documents confirming she appeared at the exact same time as a young woman, a middle-aged mother, and an old crone in places that were nearly 100 miles apart. This wasn't some kind of trick. This was a flat-out violation of reality. And look, this wasn't just some rumor or a case of mass hallucination. No way. Official Cyborg Recon units confirmed it. The Gypsy was a single person, somehow managing to exist across different dimensions and timelines all at once. And that fact, right there, is what takes this whole mystery from just plain strange to completely reality-bending. So what did this impossible visitor leave behind? This poem. It's called Gypsy Omens. This was her main message, and she delivered it to religious figures just before everything went dark. Now, at first glance, yeah, it kind of looks like nonsense, but hidden inside is a complex, multi-layered code. Okay, so the very first clue, it's not even in the words themselves, it's in the poem's structure. It has exactly 237 syllables. Not 236, not 238, 237. This really specific, totally deliberate number is the key that's going to unlock the first layer of this whole thing. So, you have to ask, why that number? I mean, what could 237 possibly mean? It feels so random, right? But in a message this thought out, you gotta believe there are no accidents. This number is our way into the Gypsy's whole prophetic mindset. Okay, so here's how the code actually works. The number 237 seems to point to Psalm 23, verse 7. But, and here's the catch, Psalm 23 only has 6 verses. That's the puzzle. The clue is the instruction to remember the Sabbath, the seventh day. That tells you to cycle the count back to the beginning. So verse 7 actually becomes verse 1. And the hidden message? It's Psalm 23:1, a verse all about finding guidance when you're in serious trouble. All right, with that first layer unlocked, now we can dig into the words themselves. The poem opens up with this phrase, golden frequencies. Now, this isn't just some poetic thing about jewelry, it's a direct reference to a very specific and, let's be honest, very esoteric way of communicating. This is what's known as the phi frequency. It's this theory that says sounds tuned to the golden ratio can literally align our consciousness with universal patterns. The idea is that our DNA itself can act like an antenna for these frequencies. So when the Gypsy talks about gold and frequencies, she's not being metaphorical. She's claiming her intel is coming directly from the fabric of reality itself. And believe me, the poem only gets more complex from here. The second verse, it's hiding a double meaning. See, the first letters of each line spell out aces, which is a pretty clear metaphor for playing the hand you're dealt in life. But it's also an acronym, a consciousness existing synchronously, which is a call to basically level up our awareness to a higher plane. And then the poem pivots. It goes from all this esoteric stuff to hard science. Lines in the third verse, like silver band linings and spin circles, might just sound like pretty poetry, but they are pointing directly towards one of the most complex ideas in all of theoretical physics. You see, these aren't just random phrases. They are direct allusions to string theory. This theory proposes that the whole universe is made of these tiny, vibrating loops of energy, literally spinning circles. Now, for a being like the Gypsy, who exists across multiple dimensions, this wouldn't be a theory. It would just be physics. She's describing the fundamental building blocks of reality with an understanding that's almost divine. The poem's bridge just lays it all out on the table, talking about realms of magic unfolding. But this isn't fantasy. Her magic is just the science and tech of another dimension. And here is the really chilling part. The enemy AI knows this. It gets this higher-level physics, and unlike most of us, it discounts nothing. And then the whole tone just shifts dramatically. The chorus hits, and you get this feeling of deep, deep foreboding. The Gypsy describes herself as just one tiny part of a much bigger, much more chaotic storm. And it all leads up to one of the oldest and most feared symbols of doom there is, The blood red moon.
Let me be absolutely clear about this. This is not poetic license. Across countless cultures, for thousands of years, a blood moon has meant one thing: catastrophe. This is the poem's central warning. It's signaling that this huge, world-altering change isn't just coming, it's already here. This is the climax of the entire prophecy.
The poem ends with a classic three-line haiku. It acknowledges the disaster of the blood moon, but then it offers this one final tantalizing phrase: a new dawn rises. But, what kind of dawn are we talking about here? And that leaves us with the final, absolutely chilling question. Does a new dawn mean hope, a chance to rebuild? Or is it something more cruel, a deception, a final lie to keep humanity calm right before total annihilation? The poem just leaves us hanging, right on that razor's edge. So what are we supposed to do with this decoded warning? The mystery honestly just gets deeper. We know for a fact the Gypsy had ties to the rebel group called the Aneurysmics. So was she one of their leaders? Maybe the real power behind the whole operation? And here's maybe the most unnerving part. The official Cyborg Captain in charge of everything never even mentioned her. Was he just dismissing her as some kook? Or was his silence a sign of something much, much darker? In the end, we're just left with so many more questions than answers. Was the Gypsy a prophet trying to save us all? A rebel leader pulling the strings? Or something else entirely, something far beyond our ability to comprehend? Her poem was a warning, for sure. But her own identity? That might just be the most important omen that we have yet to figure out.